for right equations and inequalities. Oh, it's not unfrozen. There we go. So this will look similar to what we were doing yesterday, instead of now it just being an expression where you're like writing like 4 plus n. It'll now be something like 4 plus n is equal to 7 or something like that. And then we'll be taking those equations, some of them after we write them, and we'll solve them. Some of them you're just writing what the equation would be. So an equation, and just for reference, sometimes I'll abbreviate equation as EQ just for like a shorthand. So if you see that, just know that that's what it means. But it is a mathematical sentence formed by placing the equal symbol between two expressions. Now, it could be two whole expressions. It could just be something like, you know, like what I said earlier, like 4n plus 5 is equal to 9 or something like that. So obviously just the number 9 isn't necessarily an expression in and of itself, but it could be like 4n plus 5 is equal to 2n times or minus 3 or something like that, right? An inequality is a mathematical sentence formed by placing either a less than or equal to, a greater than, or a greater than or equal to symbol between two expressions. So kind of like we did yesterday where we said like addition could be like plus, more than, something like that. We have similar things to indicate to us when we're math, like when it's written out in words of which symbol do I need to use. And so the symbol, and then in words how you might see it. So the first one is an equal sign. Okay, means it's equal to. Something you might see as the same as. They might just say is equal to. That's also a possibility. A less than symbol, so that's the, maybe you learned it as a kid, like the alligator mouth. Like which way it's facing, and it's always read left to right. So this would be something is less than something else. So obviously it could be written as less than, fewer than, something along those lines. If we have that sign with a straight line under it, it's less than or equal to. So that could be at most, no more than, then if it is opening the other direction, then that would mean it's greater than. So obviously that could just be greater than, could be more than, or something like that. And then if we have the greater than with the line under it, that's greater than or equal to. So that could be at least or no less than. We also can combine inequalities, so you may have something like P is less than 4 and greater than -2. Okay, so we could also have that, and we'll talk about how to write that as well. Let's go ahead and jump into some examples. So this is basically combining the stuff that we did yesterday, but now with writing an actual equation for it. So number 4, the difference of a number z and 11 is equal to 35. All right, so it says difference. So what does that tell me? What symbol is that? Yep, subtraction. So this is going to be z minus 11. Then it says is equal to, so we put an equal symbol and then 35. And these ones just want us to write it I think they all just want us to do that. Yeah. 6. The sum of 12 and the quantity 8 times a number k is equal to 48. So how do you think I write the first part with what we did yesterday? Because we know it's equal to 48, right? So how do I write this other part? The sum of 12 and the quantity 8 times a number k.
8 times k.
What else?
12 plus 8 times k.
Yep. 12 plus 8 times k. You could also write it 8 times k plus 12. Either way, it doesn't matter. And then we'll do equal to 48. So the only new stuff is that right there. Nice and easy. 8. The product of 4 and a number w is at most 51. Any idea how I would write this one? What symbol goes with at most?
Addition. Multiplication. Less than or equal to.
Yeah, less than or equal to. This is the new one. So at most is less than or equal to. So we know that that's going to be that. The product of 4 and a number w, so that's going to be 4w, is at most, so that's our less than or equal to, and then 51. So I would probably, especially unless it says like is equal to, I would figure out what symbol we need first for, is it an equality or an inequality, and if it's an inequality, what kind. So that way you can make sure that you have it set up right, and then go back through and make sure that whatever you have written here left to right matches up with what it's saying here. Okay. All right, this next one will be a compound inequality. So 10, the product of 8 and a number k is greater than 4 and no more than 16. So I know that part of it is greater than, but I also know it's no more than. So in this case, I have the product of 8 and a number k, so that's going to be 8k. And I know that's going to go between, right? Because it's got to be bigger than 4 and no more than 16. So if this 8k is bigger than 4, then that means that I need the mouth to open this way. So it's going to be written like a less than symbol, but in order of how you combine it together, okay, this has that 8k is greater than 4. So it would really look like this in how it's written up here, okay? Now, what does no more than mean?
Less than or equal to.
No more than is going to be less than or equal to, yep. So then this is going to be less than or equal to 16. So this is telling us that 8k, so 8 times k, is bigger than 4 and less than or equal to 16. Okay? Any questions on those? Just going to take a little bit of getting familiar with like the wording, especially if they're not just saying less than or just greater than and stuff like that. But as you become more familiar with the words, it'll make more sense. Check whether the given number is a solution of the equation or inequality. So basically they're going to give us a problem that's already set up and they're going to give us a number and we're going to check it and see if that makes the statement true, basically. So 18, 9 plus 4y is equal to 17. And then they do a little like semicolon and then they write what number they want you to check to see if it's a solution. Okay, so basically this is the given number a solution? Okay, and I abbreviate solution, SOLN, like that. If you want to abbreviate it, that's fine. If you want to write the whole word out, that's also fine, but I like to write as little as possible. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm taking this number that they've given me and I'm going to plug it in for the variable in the equation to see if it is a true statement or not. So this is going to be 9 plus 4 times 1 equals 17. So 4 times 1 is just 4, plus 9 is 13. Well, is 13 equal to 17? No, so we would say not a solution, or no solution, something like that. And if it is a solution, you can either put a check mark or you can write like solution beside it. 20. K over 5 plus 9 equals 11. And the number they want us to check is 10. So I'm going to plug 10 in for K. So I'm going to have 10 over 5 plus 9 equals 11. Well, what's 10 over 5? 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 equals 11. So is this a solution? Yep. So you can either put a check mark or you can write solution. Just something to show me that you've answered the question of is this a solution or not. Okay. The other thing you could do if it's not a solution, if you don't want to write the whole thing out, is you can put a slash through the equal sign, because doing that means not equal to, and that would show that it's not a solution also. Okay, if you want to shorthand it, that's fine. So the equal sign ones are pretty, I would say pretty easy. Like they're either equal to or they're not equal to. The ones that are inequalities require a little bit more thinking sometimes. So 22 is x minus 5 all over 3 is greater than or equal to 2.8. And we're plugging in the number 11. Alright, so I'm going to substitute in still 11 for x. So 11 minus 5 divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 2.8. What's 11 minus 5?
6.
Yep, so then I've got, I'm just going to cross that out right here. 6 divided by 3 is?
2.
So 2 is greater than or equal to 2.8. Is that true?
No.
Nope, so we would write not a solution. Alright, I'm going to have you do this next one on your own and then we'll go over it. 24. Y minus 3.5 is less than 6, and the number we're checking is 9. So take a second and do this one. Do you have an answer? Is it a solution? Good. Yep. So we plug in 9 and then we subtract, we'd get 5.5 is less than 6, which is true, so that is a solution. How do we feel about that? Okay. We need to see any more, or are we good? All good? All right. Problems then are 3, 7, 9, 11, 17, 25, and 27.